Everybody, welcome to Jason Bishop Musicians Highlight. And today we are featuring a musician, a friend of mine from like way back. I don't know how we're gonna do this introduction, but this is a guy who has been my mentor for like many years when I know how to play music. And up to this day, he's still my mentor. I have plenty of respect for him. A lot of respect as a musician, as a friend, many years, probably 30 years plus.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
30 years plus, you know. So, without further ado, this is Rodney Alexander. You all might know who it is already. Hey, Rodney, man. We're good to have you on the little show. It's the first one we're going to do. So, we have a lot to talk about.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing too deep, but yeah.
We were getting a little taste.
This has been pending for a long time now, right? So,
yeah. So, bro, the whole idea here is right to highlight your experience from your early stages. I mean, I might know some things about you, but people would need to know how you start off in music. Well, when I met you, we had formed a little band Deep Impact, right? But you go ahead, give us a little background of your journey in music.
Well, this is is not no short journey. It's a long journey.
I know that.
Can't summarize this journey in an hour, but I'll try my best to. Started off playing in church. I mean, all good musicians come from church. I always say the best ones come from church.
Come from church.
And my family was my foundation when it comes to music. My father, having that family band. I think when we met you, you kind of fall into the family band.
I fall into the family band, yeah.
So, I was the bass player in the band. Being the bass player for a while, then I jump over to keys, then I play a bit of guitar. I had an incident with my thumb, a nail going through my finger. That's how I ended up playing keys.
Okay.
And when it was healed, then I went back. I started playing guitar a little bit and then went back to the bass. The bass was a natural instrument for me because it was the only instrument I feel like I could express myself on.
Right.
How exactly how I feel. That's how I would.
I hear talking about bass there. Whatever happened to that pink bass, boy? This man had a nice pink bass. I am on the hunt for that bass.
Anybody seeing this interview? I want back my pink bass. Honestly, I think that's probably my biggest regret.
Yeah.
Selling that bass.
That was a nice bass, boy.
Right now on the hunt for it, I'm trying to find it back.
Right.
That was my first. My father bought that for me for my birthday, and I used to live on that bass.
Yeah.
But going forward,
I
mean, my father used to take us to different churches and we used to play. I think that's when I met you.
I met
you the first time I met you was
in a church.
Baptist church.
You
was playing bass.
I was playing bass, yeah. So the story is, I started playing bass first.
Yeah.
When I met this fella playing bass, I put on the bass. I said, nah, bass is not for me. Yeah. I jumped over on guitar and, and then we started link up and all of that,
and then we just used to be playing music, just literally playing music. He playing guitar, I playing bass, and just playing whole day, literally playing whole day. And we share common goals. We always wanted to make it. What it is, we don't know. So
but we used to sing that song all the time. We want to make it. So. But I mean, we could go on and on about these stories. But I think we have a lot to talk about, I think we can narrow it down. Let's talk about your experience in bands, your band experience, because I would have known you playing when we had the band Deep Impact. And we used to play behind the marketing point by Pasky's Bar.
Yep.
Give me some of them stories.
The interesting thing is that just today, I was saying I came up from, I take the whole 9 yards. I didn't left any one of the yards out, and I take the whole 9 yards. We started from ground zero all the way up. And it was our experience. We went through the whole experience from trying to make it, playing with different bands, the Congo side or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Where you're playing and people passing and pulling out your jack.
Yeah.
Playing when you don't play, you ain't get no pay. Man say all your song good. When you don't play, they say all your song check in.
Yeah.
Now all your song check all night, man. And them, those
I remember that gig.
Yeah.
We play for hours and the man say all the song check all night.
Song check
we get
all
no
night.
money.
No money.
Man close up the bar now.
Yeah. So I went through a lot. And I must say that kind of helped me be the musician I am right now. Being able to understand situations, the experience that I gained from coming up the ladder, you cannot buy that, and they don't teach that. They don't teach that. So understanding certain things with the music industry, yeah.
So the role of a bass player, right? You are a very solid bass player. Just name a couple of the songs that you would have played on that people might know, because. We want them to know that the songs that you would have played on. I know there's plenty.
Whoa.
Yeah. I know there's plenty. But what do you think was your first song you ever played on that you hear on the radio or something?
The first song that I played on, the first time I was introduced to a professional studio, was by Kenny Phillips. Right. And that song was with Preacher.
Oh.
Jenny, it was a
right.
It was a parang. If you go and check it out on YouTube, that was my first experience in a studio, first record, professional recording.
Right.
Jenny, and then after that, I started working with Ivo.
Right. Was it before Invasion days or Invasion days?
That was before Invasion.
Okay, right.
That was before Invasion days. Actually, my first recording, I probably was like 16 years old.
Okay.
First year, 16 years old in studio, and then after that was Soca Train.
Right.
Soca
Train. But both of you play on that song?
Both of us play on that song. So that probably was around Invasion.
That was Invasion time?
Invasion, yeah.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, we would have been part of the founding members of the band Invasion. And up to this day, we believe that is the band that was our force to be reckoned with.
Invasion was that's a whole different story.
Yeah. The Invasion, we could probably do a little talk about that some other time.
Yeah,
we have a real story of that.
That's the whole. But I played on a lot of stuff. I say I have to probably try to get all my work and put them in a hard drive or something because it have so much stuff I played on. I can't remember. Some of them songs play on radio and be like, you know what, it sounds like me. I think I play on this one, and then I'll check because it's me.
Right. It was so much.
So much. Plenty.
All right. So, I mean, you would have seen from back then to presently how much music has evolved. Tell me a bit more from a bass player's view when it comes to synth bass and live bass and how it affects. Now, I know you play on different styles of music. I know you're on the gospel scene and jazz scene and but let me say soca. Now it's carnivals, we're in the carnival season, and even though I know we're not in carnival as before. What is your views of live bass on recordings from back then to now?
Well, time changing. I mean, we have to change with the time. So, a lot of what I'm seeing now, a lot of bass players on stage in soca, that is, using synth basses. And I know we are influenced by what happened in North America and around the world, in the music industry on a whole.
Right.
And I don't have no issue with that. The only thing I just feel like this is my personal pet peeve is that when I listen to soca now compared to back then everybody had a song, everybody had a signature song, everybody had an identity with how they play, how they song. Now most of the bass players, when I listen, try to sound the same. They sound the same. I shouldn't even say try, they sound the same.
Yeah.
Everybody going for the same licks, the same chops, the same feel, those kind of things.
So what kind of feel do you think it is? Is it what? Is it a African feel, a gospel feel?
It's a gospel feel. I think it's a gospel feel. I think Justin Reigns, I want to use this name, Justin Reigns influenced the gospel circuit big time. He was kind of, I would say, kind of like the modern style bass player that influenced our generation. I I'm not knocking those bass players that bring in that element into soca. However, I still believe you need to maintain the sound.
The roots of soca.
Yes, and not only the roots of soca, you must have your voice. You must have your voice.
Yeah.
So even if you're playing soca, you're not trying to sound like, yes, you might like what this guy, because when I was coming up, it had a few guys that I really admired.
Right.
And I would not try to sound like them.
I
would like what they're doing,
but
I wouldn't try to sound like them. A couple guys I like Bush.
Right.
Bush was feel and tone, everything was.
We used to really listen to Bush stuff,
Bush was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Then we used to pay attention to ecstatic a lot.
Yeah.
So Vincent Rivers.
Yeah.
Back in the day, he was different.
I remember. Yeah.
He had a different song. He used to interpret. I like what he used to take the recording and make it his. And when you hear him live, it sound different.
Yeah.
I like that. And that was one of the things that I took from him, to like try to make the bass line yours. Yes, you're playing the bass line, but make it you. And then Roy K. bassman Anthony. Yeah. He was always like the show guy. So Invasion days, when you saw us getting on crazy, I used to be thinking about him, like what he would do.
Influence.
Yeah.
I think influence is a big thing for all musicians, you know. We influenced by many other musicians.
Yep.
But the key thing, as you say, is to have an identity.
Exactly.
Yeah, within yourself. Yeah, man. What? No, this might be a thing that we should talk about. I mean, well, we always talk about it, but we should put it out there. As part of seeing the music industry change, people are telling us, it's a boy, Invasion days, all they had a kind of togetherness, and now that is missing with musicians, and now in terms of that kind of friendship. I mean, I'm not on the soca band scene. I mean, and you have probably left some years now. But from a bass player, there's a bass player community. There's a community of bass players, there's a community of drummers, there's a community of guitarists, a community of keyboardists. What is your view on the importance of community with musicians and how it affects bands?
That is a very good question. I think it's very important for us musicians to have a community, not just bass players in their community and guitarists in their community. I think generally, because coming up, as I said, we went through the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Coming up, we had a community, and that is what shaped the generation now of musicians.
Yeah.
So the community we had with David Richards and Clint Dikoto and even yourself, all of us, we came up in an era where we used to meet and jam.
We
used to come out and jam. When we call that jam, everybody coming out. Keyboardists, you had to wait your turn. You might get one sweat. You get a sweat.
You got a couple
and
sweat.
if you ain't cutting it, somebody will fall in. And it was fun. You will call that jam and the room full of musicians. And that was a healthy community that was shaping musicians for today. Now, today, I am asking, like, where's the next generation? Because we are not seeing the next generation anxious, greedy, wanting to play. That kind of thing, and calling jam. Sometimes we call a jam and
nobody show up. Sometimes me and you alone show up sometimes for a jam.
2 people show up, 3 people show up, and you'll call it, and then there's the same faces showing up all the time. So people they're not anxious. They don't want to learn. They don't want to learn like before. Networking and all of that. They don't. It's just a whole different.
Yeah, I think that's a real important thing. You know, community. I mean, I will always bring up Cakes and Invasion days, right? So Cakes, he was a drummer with Invasion back in the days, and for me, he's like the best drummer I ever really worked with. There are plenty good drummers out there, but I guess what we had was a relationship with each other that helped the band to interpret where Naya wanted to go, or Fayan wanted to go, or the singer wanted to go. So I think because of that relationship, that we trust each other. When the singer started singing, we know where to go. We could feel where the singer going because we trust each other. And I don't know, I think now bands, they're very structured and they're very individual way of probably thinking, you know. So it might affect how the band's singing, you know. They would miss that little intuition to go with something. that we used to get that spontaneous kind of.
I think what you're trying to say, like right now when I listen to the bands, they sound well rehearsed.
They
depend heavily on that Ableton.
Yeah.
And they sound rehearsed.
Yeah.
Back then, with Invasion, I could speak for Invasion. We at any given night, you could get a different set.
Yeah.
At any given night, and we will flip it up just before we go on stage, depending on what's happening, how the crowd moving. So how Invasion used to rehearse was ins and outs. Different, switch it up. One night we will do this set, and tomorrow night we will do this set. So we always know how we changing. Even if things change, we will know how to get in and get out.
Yeah.
But today, I feel like sometimes if you close your eye, you probably would know which band playing because all the bands almost sound the same. And that's why I'm talking about, like the identity of the bass player and the musicians, like the repertoire sound the same, the synth lines. It's like all the bands going for the same sound.
For the same sound.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree with that.
I
agree with that for sure. So tell me a little bit more of your experience, because I know you would have played, of course, with Invasion for years. Then you would have gone with Alison Hines, and you would have had many experiences with Alison Hines, and traveling with them, and then you would have kind of go over to the jazz scene. And I know presently he's the most sought out bass player when it comes on to the jazz scene. Talk about that switch from soca into the jazz scene, and then your solo scene. But really, probably later on.
Well, for me, I don't like to stay one place too long. I just get bored quick.
Right.
I have a short attention span. So for me, I started trying to keep myself interested.
Yeah.
And with Alison Hines, I would say introduced me to a lot of things. Alison Hines opened the door to a different part of my career that I don't think I would have get with Invasion, because Alison Hines world renowned.
Right.
And because of Alison Hines, I was able to play with a couple reggae artists, and that was a whole experience by itself. And
as in big name
reggae
artists.
like Richie Spice,
right,
Jackio.
Right.
We did a few things with Jackio. We did a pop-up show and stuff with Shaggy.
Right.
So
good.
For me, on any given day, you wouldn't get an opportunity to work with these artists.
Yeah.
So it was an eye-opener, and then I had to literally learn to play reggae like the Jamaicans, that kind of feel. So that was an experience. Being in Alison Hines, at that point in time where I was feeling like, I needed to do something else, and the music wasn't challenging.
Right.
So I remember calling, I did a show in Trinidad. We were in Trinidad, and I spoke to Terran.
Right.
Terran Shaw.
The great Terran Shaw.
I said, Terry, right on the show itself, I said, Terry, I feel like I fell up with this music and I want to do jazz. I want to do something else. I want to be able to express myself now. This music becoming too boring. I said, I feel like I'm not growing. And Terry was like, you sure you're all right, bro? He said, I'm getting paid enough for it. He said, getting paid enough for it. Yeah. I said, it's not about the money. I said, just feeling like I'm not playing. I want to express myself now.
It was something deeper for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, you're real ambitious. And not too long after, I think probably was the next year, I decided I had enough.
Right.
And that's when I went to UTT. I went to UTT for 3 years.
Right.
And that was an experience too.
Right.
But it was a very good experience in that I learned a lot. But it wasn't a good experience going through the whole experience. But on the other side of that is when I decided to do my personal.
Yeah, your solo stuff.
Yeah, my personal stuff.
Yeah. What I find was real bold and ambitious, I would say, is bass players normally, the function of a bass is to support and keep things together, as in the rhythm section. Is bass and drums is like the pulse of bands, And you made a bold statement by stepping out as a lead player. What motivated that move?
Well, that started even before I started playing with soca bands. I remember my father telling me, Rodney, learn to play melodies. Learn to play the melody,
Right.
and you will understand the song a lot better.
Right.
You will understand harmonies if you can play the
Yeah,
melody.
true. Yeah, yeah.
So I grew up playing this 4-string and being able to play melody. So even up to now, a melody is just like a second nature to me.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
And
yeah.
I can understand. I understand melody.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Playing with Elan Pali, because I fill in Elan Pali right after Sean.
Right.
Sean actually hooked me up with Elan Pali.
Ilan Pala is Ming.
Ming.
Yeah.
Elan Pali, then I started playing with Terrence Shaw, then I started playing with Vornet,
Right.
Bigford. In that order,
Right.
I was open to playing with different artists in Trinidad. I was really busy at one point in time. And while doing that, as I said before, I started getting bored. I started feeling like, you know what, I need to do me. I need to do something. Because I know I can give more than playing bass. And that's when I decided, you know what, I just take the risk and I have nothing to lose, just do something, just do my show. And then Ming decided to do this Trini Jazz project.
Right, Trinidad's project, right.
And
So that was with you on bass, Dean on
Yeah.
guitar.
Dean on guitar, Madupe on percussion,
Right.
Vornet Bigford.
Was on drums.
Who was on drums? Boy, Richie.
Richie, right.
Richie
Okay,
on
good.
drums.
Right, right.
But the interesting thing is that all of us, we never record together.
Okay.
It was just each one of us bring 2 songs. Ming say, I
Right.
want 2 songs from you, 2 songs from you, 2 songs from you.
Right,
I already had stuff. I had stuff on my computer,
right.
so it was just deciding. It was just for me to decide which one of these songs
Right,
I wanted to
right.
record. So
So what songs you had on the album?
I had 2 songs, country
Right.
and music.
Right, right.
Music was the favorite song for me, but
Yeah,
everybody gravitated to country.
The country.
Yeah.
So Ming was the producer of that
Ming
album.
was, Ming was the producer of the whole project.
The whole project. Right.
But those 2 songs was my arrangement. I literally just take what I had on my computer and Ming just rebuild it on his stuff.
Right.
So it was just what you're hearing on Ming on the recording is what I had
Yeah.
on my computer. So, but that kind of like give me motivation to believe that, hey, this is something I could do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember listening to Ilan Pale in the early days of me just being exposed to local jazz stuff, you know. So Ming and his music really, I think, affected how I view local jazz music, you know, because he kept the local twang, the local dialect, even though there was nice harmonies and rhythm going on. He keep that rhythm, he keep that natural local jazz. You know, when we hear jazz, we think
Yes.
you know.
Ming was like the voice of like calypso jazz,
Calypso jazz, yeah.
You remember when they had the point jazz and things. Those days we know coming out and trying to play this quote unquote jazz with Errol Goodrich. And we had a band called Uncut.
Uncut.
We used to be couldn't wait to see Ming play.
Yeah, we wait for that.
Waiting for Ming to play and Terry and
Doggy,
Doggy, and all those guys.
Yeah.
And that was our learning experience.
Chantel Esdell, the next one too. Good, nice local stuff. But I don't know I don't know what will happen to the future of Trini jazz. You know, I mean, yes, there's some young people coming up. I think who was good. Emil and his group, Emil Fortune. Some young guys coming out there that I think could do. Eli on guitar.
What I must say though is that I think it changed, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But it changed from what it used to be because when I just came in, the quote unquote Trini jazz vibe, Zander and Clive Zander and Carlton, those guys had a sound, they had a twang.
Yeah.
They had this folk side of the Trini jazz that you don't really hear much of now.
Yeah.
Even Raph. The way they play, the way they interpret our music and give it back. You don't really get much of that. I think Ming probably the last of that generation that could do stuff like that.
Yeah. Ming and Terry.
Ming and Terry.
Terry, yeah.
Yeah. But the new guys coming up, including myself, I shouldn't put myself in there. I shouldn't say new guys.
I did not.
I shouldn't put myself in there. But
Nah,
the new guys coming in, I must say, the song change is not a bad song. I just think we're going more on the smooth jazz vibe, more like Americanized kind of vibe. We're going kind of leaning on that side more than keeping our heritage when it comes to the jazz. And that is one of the main reasons country take off like that, because country was like
it had
that folk.
That kind of point.
Yeah.
Captiville kind of feel.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about that the other day too. I mean, I know we just kind of talking here, right? That soca bands now, I look at those younger musicians now and what they were influenced by and how they approach soca. And yes, music always evolving, but that local reach for ideas, I think it kind of disappearing, because the ideas that most of those guys are reaching out for is the North American type ideas. So I don't know. I don't think it will represent soca or even calypso. Well, because with the ideas those guys reaching out for, yes, it's good ideas, good musical ideas, but to say really maintain that local groove and feel, especially the bass, I would say.
I think it's influence. I think if one person tries something and it works, I believe by the next year, everybody doing that same thing.
Yeah.
That is what I see happen for the last how much years? Like one artist do something and it work at that time, then everybody else
let's jump on it.
Trying to do that same thing. They actually, some of them playing the same rhythm, they playing the same song, the same snare pattern, the same everything just sounding the same.
Yeah.
When I listen to songs, there's few songs that you could be say, all right, this is different from what happening here. And that's probably one of the main reasons why the Red Boys out of Barbados was so dominant, because they created a different song. They bring back that live, when you listen to their tracks, you're hearing live guitar, hearing live drums, live bass. So it was something different, and they always try to reinvent the sound. That one time they had a quattro playing, or a ukulele or whatever, playing on one of the tracks. So they always try to be innovative and create a song, but somehow I feel like us in Trinidad, we just trying to copy what worked for somebody else. Not trying to be creative. Like Invasion, we used to drill. You will believe your song big, and when you come in the band and we'll say, no, we're not doing that. That song that's good. And we'll work towards finding something that making sense. So I feel like right now, most of those guys don't have guys that honest around them to say, well, all right, the song good, but maybe you need to tweak this, or you need to change that, or work on that and come back, or the melody and making sense. Stuff like that.
And what should bring me to this point here, the importance of community with musicians mean that you're accountable to mature musicians.
Yes.
So if somebody could correct you or give you an idea or some guidance and you take it well, it work out better for you. I think that now, if you try to tell a musician, if we could, I don't think we could do that now, tell a musician, hey, you're playing good, but your timing a little bit not consistent, you're rushing the beat, or your voice on your chord, you're spreading chords too much, or something like that. I think those musicians might get offended. Back in the days, we used to get buff up for those things.
I remember Albert telling me the first time, I was like, yo, you need to work on your tone.
Right.
Because what I used to do, I think, back in the days, I was thinking, well, you need to just turn up everything. So I used to just turn up my bass, turn up my volume, everything up. Heights up, mids up, all my levels up. So, and then just playing, I needed to get volume. It was just a matter of volume. Not thinking about, you had to work on your tone. And Bush was the first person told me, hey, you need to work on your tone. And then I started asking him, like what you do, what you use, how you get that song. And he gave me some really good advice, which was, well, I'll share a couple. One, he said, find some strings that work for you.
Okay.
The gauge that work for you, and some of the strings that would, because strings have different sound.
Yeah,
Then the gauge of the strings, which means the size of the string will obviously sound different.
Yeah.
Depending on what you're going for. Some strings are more sustained, some have less, some live longer than some, and then some have a sound. Certain strings have a sound. Then he was like, your right hand is the sound. That's your tone. Where you position your right hand, you will get your tone. All of that I work on. So I started adjust. If you notice, a lot of people ask me why I play like this. It's because I was searching for my song, and then I find it. I was like, all right, this is it.
This is it, right? Yeah. That's the song you're looking for.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And see, influences are a real dread thing. Eh? When I pick up a bass, I just put my hands so too. Yeah. So So what is expected of you, let me say, in the future? I know I was on a gig with you just the other day. I know you did. We supported Timika. Congrats to Timika on winning the National Queen, Calypso Monarch. I know you're heavily involved in arranging and music directing with different groups. Give us a little idea of how was that experience as a bass player? I don't think I've ever seen a bass player in Trinidad who was like an MD.
Yeah, actually, it
have a couple.
It have a couple.
Right. Okay.
But it's not common, because most times you will see the keyboardist being the MD. It's more common to see a keyboardist.
Yeah.
But a bass player being an MD is not common. But they do have probably could just think about a couple. Like
wait and give me the edge.
What give me the edge?
Like why?
I think all right. So for me, I think
experience.
I've been around a while.
Yeah.
I've been around a while, so people trust me. And then your reputation speaks for itself.
Yeah.
So it's not just a matter of being able to play, it's being able to, people know that you can deliver and you're very professional about it. Because some of the shows that I get at the Tango, I don't know how I got it, but after getting it, I left the organizers very impressed to keep it.
Right.
So that is something
Yeah, I think relationship and
yes.
work ethics.
And then working with artists as well too, as an MD, that is a whole different experience working with the artists. You have to understand the artists. Now some will work, some wouldn't work. Sometimes relationships, personalities just get involved and things. Some may work, some may not work, but it is always an experience. And you take the good from it and you learn from the bad.
Right.
And move forward.
So what would you advise young musicians to do if they want to get into music as a profession? What would you advise them to do in terms of being a professional?
Well, first I will say, make sure it's something you really want to do. Don't do it just because you're looking at the money or you're trying to get famous or whatever. Make it be about the music first.
Yeah.
If you love the music, the passion.
Yeah.
One, you'll spend a lot of time on the instrument and develop your craft. You'll do whatever it takes to make yourself marketable.
Right.
And once you reach that standard, the rest will be history, because you will be a product that somebody will want to pay for. So just the same way, so in a band, you will have a problem, which is you don't have a guitarist. And you don't want somebody to hire a guitarist who is a problem. So now you end up with another problem. Meaning the guitarist is not punctual, the guitarist showing up, not knowing the music, or the guitarist cannot handle the type of music you play.
Right.
So you must always try to keep yourself marketable, always ready. Keep your tools sharp. Practice every day. I just pick up my instrument every day, every single day. It's a must. And some people will think, well, they could play already, but no. If I miss a day, I will feel it.
Yeah.
So my advice to any young musician who wanting to get in this professionally is work on your craft.
Yeah.
Work on your craft. Make sure that is what you want to do, and
Right.
everything will fall in place from there. Because once you're good, the word will go around, and you will be employable.
So you see, all you hear from the man himself, practice every day.
Practice every day.
Practice every day, you know. Don't take it for granted.
Don't
that,
cheat the process.
yeah. You could play a lot already and you say, well, I'm cutting some gigs right now. I know sometimes when you're busy with gigs, when you get time to practice.
Well, sometimes,
You know?
and that sometimes I just feel that. I just feel it because sometimes you have so much music to practice, you doesn't spend time on personal practice.
Personal practice,
So
training, they could say.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you spend 2 hours learning somebody's music and you
Yeah.
really get to develop. So I went through a few years of that, just playing and learning music every day. When you go in your room, you're just learning music and trying to retain and write out stuff, but you're not really developing your craft.
Right.
Yeah.
Boy, I want to ask a kind of controversial, I want to ask a question. Well, it kind of stem from probably my experience too, and I think we might probably share the same type of experience, and most musicians, right? Healthy rivalry. Coming up as a guitarist, there were a lot of guitarists I would have been looking up to, and I'm sure you would have been looking up to other players, you know, like Vin and Bush and Roy Cape, Tony. Was there ever a situation where the rivalry was kind of bad? A bad rivalry, where I kind of probably like a jealousy something or something. I don't think that really exists.
I don't think, well, it does exist, but it never really happened with me. Because for whatever reason, I always comfortable with what I could do.
Yeah.
And I don't know if other people might feel a certain way about me, but for me, I always comfortable. I know my skill set.
Yeah.
And I think rivalry most times this come when you're insecure.
Yeah.
So you just always feel like the other person better than you, or you try to impress the other person. You feel like the other person might take your spot.
Yeah.
Those type of thing now. But
and you're right, those things
it's real.
We see it
Real,
many
real.
it's real.
Yeah.
But I think that is why it's important to know yourself.
Exactly.
Your identity, who you really is.
Exactly.
You know, as a musician.
You know your limitations.
Yeah.
You know, don't try to bat outside of your crease. Stay in your crease. If you know you could only do 3 notes, stay within your 3 notes.
Yeah.
But some people just feel they need to impress, and because somebody else in the room, and it's a musician thing. Sometimes the ego just gets involved.
Yeah.
But I never really had that.
Me too.
That rivalry issue. However, I just feel sometimes I just feel like it exists.
Yeah.
But I never really pay attention to it, to give it any energy.
Okay.
Because the truth is in Trinidad it's real small. The pool of musicians
Yeah,
in
it's a
Trinidad
small circle.
It's real small right now. And I must say, coming up to the point where I'm at right now, I heard musicians say things about me and who have their opinion on how I play, but I never really let that affect. No. All these things. So it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, because it's a competitive place to be. I mean, music on the whole, you're seeing some young cats coming up now shedding. But one thing, what I think for me, what does keep me grounded is knowing the experience I have, and it's something that you cannot purchase. It's something you cannot go to school and get. That nobody cannot teach you experience. It's something you get over time. So I just be real confident. So it have situations I will be around and I'll be normal. Like some people might expect for me to be nervous or don't know how to handle a certain situation, but it's like I've been here before. Like all my years of doing this train me for this time. So yeah.
All right. Good.
What about you? What about you?
In terms
of rivalry and
I see rivalry as a good thing for me.
Okay.
But I have a different opinion. I see rivalry as a healthy thing. Rivalry doesn't really mean like an enemy. It means a friendly rivalry. So for instance, one of my biggest mentors on guitar would have been Joey Rivers. It wasn't like a rivalry, but something inside of me saying, you know, I want to play on that level. So I had to meet that level. So what was driving me was that I had to practice. I had to kind of compare myself to him in a kind of way, but not sound exactly like him. And then, well, when he came off Ecstatic Scene, then Dean came on. Dean for me was like an eye-opener. Dean tone, his approach to playing soca, with a little overdrive, that was a big influence on me. So anyway I see Dean playing, I watch it out. So it wasn't like a negative rivalry. It was like a growth rivalry where I could grow.
But you think rivalry is the right
Probably,
word?
I think rivalry is the wrong word. I would say influence.
Yeah.
Influence. Yeah. Not rivalry. I think why I would say rivalry is because of probably the bands.
Yeah.
The band mindset.
Yeah.
Ecstatic, Invasion. We coming out to kind of potentially outdo.
Yes.
Outdo the other
So
bands.
in that
It wasn't
context,
like
I can understand.
In that space, It wasn't like anything personal. Yeah. Tell me something. One of the things that I have been around you for many years, and I always admire your ear for music. Tell me about your experience probably in studio or live when music starts to play. What you just be thinking about that you're so solid in the music, that you're so navigating your way, and you remember in phrases. Just the other day I spoke to Ibo. Ibo talked so highly. He's like, "Wow, this man, you say, well, this man have good retainers and blah, 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 and big up Ibo. Ibo produced Invasion album from scratch.
I did a lot of work with Ibo recently, a lot.
Ibo is a great soul, man.
It was a good experience.
Yeah. What you be thinking about? Like how you just get that? How you just think with the music happening around you in the moment?
Well, I could understand what Ivo was saying, how he feel when he saw me playing, and because my son music, he just wow me sometimes when with his ear as well.
Right.
So sometimes I would play something, and he would play it back right after and be like, "Way boy, quick," and I could kind of I was like, at one point in time, I was like, "Nah, boy, I kind of understand what everybody will be saying about my ear." So to answer your question, ever since growing up, well, when I started playing, the radio was my best friend.
Right.
So I used to listen the radio and try to dissect everything I could find with the music when it comes to the bass. So I didn't have any book, I didn't have no videos, I didn't have no YouTube or anything like that. So I had to listen the radio, hear the bass line, and try to figure it out before the song done.
Right.
So all of that, so I think I had an early session of ear training.
Yeah. I believe I for sure went through that. Radio listening.
Was your ear.
Them days are no YouTube.
No YouTube.
No CD. No flash drive.
DVD, no flash drive.
Nothing. Yeah.
So you had to get that asset going in real time. You may be lucky to have it on a cassette or then CDs came out. If you had a CD player and you get it on a CD, you're lucky.
Yeah.
But
I had to keep that CD good because I got scratch.
So that was my early. So with that now, when you get that and you listen it on the radio and you learn that or you learn something, you have to remember it and retain that. So what I used to do, if I learn a lick and that song done, I used to sit down on my back step and play that lick over and over. And then I will try to sing a song, play some church song, and try to apply that lick to make it make sense. So if it's a minor lick, I'll find a song, and when it go to the two, and one minor, I try to play that lick quick and try to put it in context.
Yeah.
So that is how I learn and develop my ear.
Yeah.
So now when I hear a song, it's like for me, I will hear certain things in the song are kind of familiar, like where it going.
Where the interval is.
Yeah, all of that. That's why melody is so easy to play for me. When I hear the melody, it's like, all right, yeah.
Yeah, man. But boy, I know we have a lot to talk about, but I want to keep this video kind of tight.
Yeah.
So people wouldn't think, because I think we will leave the Invasion days
for part 2.
For our next one, because we have a lot of experiences that I think might be beneficial to people, and they might want to hear it.
But before we go, let me ask you a couple of questions.
Yeah.
So locally, who will you say influence your playing the most and why?
And why? It's a strange thing because a lot of guitarists influence me. Like, I think it's because I like fusion, so everybody have a part to play. Because I like to hear different ideas come together. I think my greatest influence would have been Arthur Marcial. He's one of my biggest influence. Because I think I'd have spent more time with him. You know, I was very blessed to spend time with people like Tony Vorze. I sat down with Tony Vorze and do plenty of work already. Wayne Bruno. I used to go to his home. I had a short session with Terry Shaw. I used to spend some time with Joey Rivers. I would say Dean Williams, Clifford Charles for sure. So there's a lot of players, but I think the most if I would say, it would have to be Arthur, because the kind of things that Arthur would reach out for, he would reach out for some out of the box things, you know, and I had liked that, you know, to reach for these outside notes, these fast lines, and you know, that kind of flashy way of, you know, getting things out, you know. Of course, with the balance of other players too, listening to other players, you know, like Clifford Charles is well put together, solid tone, good rhythm, strong melody, you know. So like those things coming together now, you know. So I wouldn't say there's one. There's many players, and even some younger fellas and all too influence. Some of my students and all too does influence me.
And what are your take on those? No, we have a whole generation of young guitarists coming up. We hear them in the soca bands.
Yeah.
Where's your take? I don't know if you ever pay attention to them, but where's your take on what you're hearing so far and the direction they go in?
Well, for me, I would say now, I would always talk about Kyle Peters now. Because this is the first year, I mean, I would hear soca music now. I mean, I'm living under a rock. But this is the first year I have heard the most live instruments in soca in many years. Live guitar is very present in probably every soca song. You hear a live guitar, which wasn't there 5 years ago. You know? So Kyle is bringing that live guitar feel to soca now. I think there are people, they used to like, what are the guys out there? Daniel, yeah. Milo Strings. He's an amazing guitarist. You know, he's a young guy. I think he fuses a lot of rock in the soca. He gets some trouble there. There's somebody, well, I won't say trouble, but somebody didn't like the idea that he mixing rock in soca. But that going on a long time. Yeah. You know, Joey Ningwai, that going on a long time.
Even Dean.
Yeah, Dean was, yeah, real good. So I think the young guys now, I think they're adding value. I think Kyle is bringing some balance with authentic rhythm, guitar, strums, and then there was even one time he played a solo, which is the first time I actually hear a guitar solo, the second time I would say, a guitar solo in a soca song. I think the first time I hear a solo on a soca song was Peter C. Old Lady.
That was Dean?
That was Dean.
Yeah,
I think that was Dean. And that was the first time I heard a solo or a lead line in a song. I didn't think it was much of a solo, it was more of a guitar line. But what Kyle played was more of a solo type line. Yeah.
So let me ask you one more question before we go.
You ask questions,
I'm sure the listeners would want to know this as well. Do you practice every day? And if you practice every day, how much time you put in your practice?
Well, I practice as much as I can, which happens to be every day, right? You know, with schedule and thing, I can't put that time to it, so I'll just try. I must pick up the guitar first thing. That's the first thing I must do is pick up my guitar. And what I realize is there's a difference between practicing and playing. So I pick up the guitar and try to play a song. But then practicing would mean like studying intervals, patterns, shapes, harmony, inversions, different concepts, you know. So it varies. I'm very disorganized when it comes to practicing. So I might just think about an idea, pick up the guitar and try to just get an idea out. You know, so it could be hours. Today I play guitar for about probably 5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was in school, so I was home, my wife wasn't home. So yeah, I just do it. I did some open string voicing chords. I put up a video today about it and all too. So yeah, so practice for me is not too organized. It's just certain concepts I want to try to grasp at and go for it.
So, next question. Okay, I'll make this the last question.
You going to take your time now?
So, what should people expect from you this year as a musician? Like, what up for Jason? What's Jason's plans for this year when it comes to your music?
Right. Well. First of all, I was very silent for a little while, for a long time, for good reason. You know, just trying to settle myself on what I really wanted to really do. I really launching out my solo stuff in terms of my original ideas with music, putting up a lot of even educational stuff and all too, you know, teaching stuff online. So the online presence could be a bit more. Yeah, so it's more like I want to get myself out there and sharing my music with the world, you know, so arranging, also being a part of, I would say, EJO now. EJO, we now coming back out again.
Look out for EJO, we're coming back.
We're coming back out hard, real hard. We have some new additions to the band. So I'm excited about that because EJO is a space where we get to have identity individually and bring it to one sound. So that was EJO for sure. And then my solo stuff, you know, I always like playing in weddings and playing for that kind of music. So more like wedding stuff and thing. Yeah, that's my scene for now.
Well, that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. So guys, all I heard from the man himself. Hopefully I'll get back here many other time because we have so much to talk about.
Yeah, probably I'll fall in on one of the interviews when interviewing Kylo.
Yeah. I want to bring on like people like Albert Bush, Pelham.
Could get Anthony down here too, bassman.
I actually spoke to him already, you know.
Yeah,
I spoke to him already.
Yeah.
So
and Sly and those guys.
I spoke to Sly and also
the stories.
Yeah. It'd be good to hear those guys.
You could even get Vin and all Vince.
Yeah. Those are you know, and I think what we're trying to portray here is that influence is important and respect for the ones who made the way for us.
Exactly.
Yeah, so respect is a big thing, you know, honoring and respecting the hard work those guys would have put in for many years, you know, Vin and Albert Bush and Joey Rivers and Terry Shaw, Clifford Charles,
Ming
and a lot of musicians. And there's more to the soca band musician life. You know, we would have done it already. And when I see the younger guys doing it now, I'd be happy for them. I was like, you know, I went through that already.
Yeah.
I went through the hype of seeing people waving and jumping and screaming and, you know, the excitement of being on stage. We went through that.
We lived that.
We lived that, you know. Yeah. And it's a good experience. But that is short-lived.
Very short.
That wouldn't last forever.
Actually, it doesn't last forever. If you talk to any one of those guys named we called before, he will tell you the same thing. Yeah. It's just a period of your life.
Yeah. There's a lot of growth that will happen, and yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, well, that's it for now.
So we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.
Peace out.